All right, so this week here for Public Safety, Fitness, and Wellness, we are talking about workout styles. Oh, come on. There we go. Now it's advancing. Sorry about that. All right, so what is fitness? Remember, we talked about this the first week. It's the ability to carry out your daily tasks, blah, 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 blah. And if you have an emergency, that you can still meet your stress, that you can still do what needs to be done. You're not going to be tired. So we're not a lawnmower guy here who is passed out after just mowing his lawn. That we can go out, do our daily activities, and when the bad stuff happens, we still have the energy to go and do what needs to be done. So before we talk about workout styles, let's talk about something called the 10 general physical skills. And these skills are the idea of endurance, stamina, strength, flexibility, power, speed, coordination, agility, balance, and accuracy. And basically what we're talking about here is with endurance, stamina too, to a certain extent. These are the things that we think of with cardio. So endurance is the ability of the body to deliver oxygen while moving. And stamina is the ability of the body to process and use energy while moving. So the endurance and stamina. Sometimes you have people with really good stamina, but they can't breathe. And they're sucking wind. They still got power to go, but they just can't breathe and they have to stop. Likewise, we could have the flip side, folks who have good breath, but they just don't have any energy. And so, they're not panting and breathing that hard, but they can't go. Strength, the ability to apply force. Can you pick something up? How much can you pick up? How heavy can it be? Can you hold somebody down? What is your level of strength? And then flexibility is, your range of motion. Can you bend? And can we get into different positions to be able to work? Or, if we're pushed, can we absorb that blow with our flexibility and rebound back? Or if you're pushed back, are you going to be tearing your rotator cuff? Power. It's the ability of a muscular unit or combination of muscular units to apply power over time, or to apply force over time. So strength is, how much can you physically hold, but power is that can you go? Can you get that stuff going? So, I might not be able to pick a 300-pound person up, but because I know how to do some wrist locks and I know how to do some things, can I get a person into a wrist lock and then transfer energy to drop them to the ground and affect a handcuffing? Do I have that power, or do I just have nothing? So you got kind of a balancing act here. Speed, it's basically the ability to minimize the time cycle of repeated movements. We think of fast people, you kind of understand that, but speed could also be how quickly can you do something? Can you quickly drop your magazine, grab a new one, insert in your firearm, and begin firing? Can you quickly get your handcuffs out of the case, click, click, get them on a person, grab another one, click, click, get going? Can you keep doing, can you keep moving, and what is the speed at which you move? Which comes into play with coordination also, which is, hey, the next one, the ability to combine several distinct movement patterns into a singular movement. So, that speed, can I get those handcuffs out? Can I get the person, apply the cuffs, rotate, get onto the other hand? Can we get that one quick motion? Do I have to actually watch my hands? We talk about setting up our duty belts. I could get my handcuffs out of my pouches without having to actually look down and see where they're at. I knew where they were. I could reload my firearm without actually looking down to see where my magazines were. I didn't have to look down to find my gun. It was always right there, and then we get into the ability of, the agility aspect, the minimum transition time from one movement pattern to another. So kind of going along with that idea of power, strength is one thing and power is another thing, and then you have your agility, which kind of goes along with your speed and coordination also, where can you shift gears, where you go from one thing to another, and do you get stuck in one spot, in one position, or can you move and change what you're doing? Can you transfer? Good use of force option. Do we have to go hands-on? Can we disengage, get our pepper spray out, pepper spray somebody? Can we disengage, grab the taser out, taser somebody, whatever the case may be? And then we get into balance, the ability to control the placement of your bodies. So you're going to fall over, you get pushed. Can you get back into to where you need to be? You're going to fall down. Can we be stooping, doing CSI work? Can we be, down on our hands and knees stooping and stretching and reaching, or do you fall over? And then accuracy, the ability to control movement in a given direction or at a given intensity. So accuracy with your firearms, accuracy with where you're going when you're trying to pepper spray somebody, trying to do anything. Do you get so tired you can't keep control of your physical parts and stuff goes all over? A good workout system is going to hit on all of these. Maybe not every workout, but you should be trying to work on all of these on a regular basis. So most folks, they think of weightlifting, right? We got either free weights or weight machines. I don't care which way you go with. Both have good uses. Like I said when we were in the gym, free weights have the advantage of the fact that they work the stabilizer muscles, they work some other things, but weight machines also have the advantage where they're locking you in and you're working a specific movement. Sometimes you can't cheat, you can't use momentum, so you have your benefits there. Now weightlifting's got a couple styles. You got your bodybuilding. The folks who are targeting a muscle, trying to get that muscle big, usually they're trying to do the whole body, but you're looking at essentially sculpting here. Some bodybuilders, while they have big muscles, they don't have a lot of power, so there's sometimes a loss of balancing, much like powerlifting. Powerlifting is kind of similar to our Olympic weightlifting, where folks are getting a lot of weight up, moving a lot of weight in a short amount of time. So some of your powerlifters, you see some of these powerlifters, and they don't look that muscular. They don't look like bodybuilders. Some of them even look obese. But they have a lot of power. They can move a lot of weight in a very short period of time. The flip side, though, is, they could be super strong, limited flexibility, almost no endurance, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Circuit training. Circuit training is, using weight machines usually, and you're looking at just kind of going around, oftentimes a total body workout. Circuit training is great when, you have a limited amount of time, you're trying to get the most bang for your buck. And oftentimes too, it's a total body workout. So a lot of folks like circuit training when they can do, the Monday, Wednesday, Friday kind of thing. Isometric weightlifting is also quite quasi-popular. Not a lot of folks do it. It's static holds. So like the plank is an isometric movement where you're just holding that plank. There are some folks out there who will lift a weight and they'll just hold the weight in front of them and they just isometrically hold it, and then they just hold it off to the side, hold it above, whatever. Different weightlifting ideas. There's a lot more out there, but these are just a few different styles. Nothing wrong with any of these, but just keep in mind, people who focus on one, sometimes they don't have the other, so maybe you need to do a little bit of both. Plain old cardio, running, biking, swimming, any number of other things. Cardiovascular health, again, goes back to our idea of endurance and stamina. You got to have these things. Some folks don't like running, some people can't swim, so you got to try different things. Functional fitness, oftentimes a mixture of cardio and weightlifting. So you have, everybody's favorite CrossFit, the stuff that folks love to make fun of. Don't knock it till you try it. CrossFit uses a lot of powerlifting, Olympic lifting moves with a barbell, but at lower weights and higher intensity speeds. The RKC style workouts are Russian kettlebells, where we're doing a lot of swings and snatches and kettlebell movements, where again you're higher intensity, you're continuing to move along, and you're using a weight, but you're also using what we refer to as ballistic movements. So it gets your heart rate up, but you're also having to push this weight around. So now you're getting that weight training. TRX, using body weight, using the straps, and where your legs are placed, where your arms are placed, depends on are you lifting your whole body weight, less than your whole body weight, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There are kickboxing gyms out there. There's a place here in town that does kickboxing and regular boxing as a workout where you're constantly moving around, jumping, kicking, hitting, and so you're getting that range of motion, you're getting those movements, but you're also getting your heart rate up because you're constantly moving, actually hitting something. You're starting to build up some muscle. They do have you pick stuff up, put stuff down, whatever. Lots of other kinds of versions of functional fitness out there. There's even the calisthenic movement. I think we talked about this class, the convict conditioning is the name of the one movement. where people are just doing push-ups, air squats, dips, things where they can use their own body weight. Then you get into the idea of classes. And there's a lot of classes out there. Technically, your TRX and your CrossFit and stuff is classes too, but just trying to kind of separate some ideas out. You have your yoga, you have your spin classes where you're on the bikes, Zumba where you do the dancing, HIIT, which is high intensity interval training, which a lot of your kettlebell stuff, and CrossFit falls into HIIT. You have your different fit boot camps. The list goes on and on and on about these classes, but essentially you're getting into a group environment, and while you're in the group environment, you might be doing static holds. Yoga is about flexibility, static holds. You could be doing some high intensity cardio stuff with the spin classes. You could be doing like box jumps and then transitioning over to doing a bunch of deadlifts at a low weight and a light in a rapid succession. I mean, there's a number of different kinds of classes out there dealing with the different aspects. And again, your TRXs and your CrossFits, and a lot of these are classes too. Just kind of separating out the idea of some of this stuff is a little bit more classified as functional. Yoga is a functional fitness. Versus spin and Zumba might be just you're locked into certain kinds of movements sometimes. So basically, in summary here, folks, wrapping her up, there are a lot of styles of working out. Find what works for you. There is no one right way. I got people who sit there and they say, well, the only way you can work out, you got to be doing this. You got to be powerlifting. You got to be doing these bodybuilding moves. You can't be using machines. You got to be using free weights. Free weights not a good thing for a beginner. You got to be using the machines. What works for you? What do you feel gives you a workout? Do that. What are you willing to go and do time and time again? I love going to some of the functional fitness classes. CrossFit and RKC is my wheelhouse. But I like having other people around. If I go to the gym, and I like doing regular, I just go to the gym and do regular workouts too. But I don't push myself as hard. When I got 3 other people, that I'm watching out of the corner of my eye, and I see they're putting weight on their bar, I feel obligated. I got to put weight on my bar. If they're going fast, I feel obligated. I got to go a little faster. That works for me. Might not work for you. What do you have access to? As students, you have access to our gym downstairs, so you have that. Do you have access to something else? What can you afford? If you can't afford much, then yeah, $10 a month to Planet Fitness, perfect. If you can afford something a little bit more, maybe you go to one of the other more expensive gyms. If you can afford more, but you find you don't use the other equipment, Planet Fitness is great. What limitations do you have? Do you have bad knees? If you have bad knees, maybe you shouldn't be running all the time. You should be doing lower impact stuff like biking, swimming. That will get your cardio up. Now, when you have to run, you can run, but you don't have to worry about damaging your knees. Do you have shoulder impingement? Can you not hold your hands over your head for very long? Maybe you shouldn't be doing certain kinds of weightlifting motions, having your hands over your head for a long time. So you got to figure out what is the best for you as it relates to all of these different styles. Go and check some things out. We did the thing where I took attendance and I asked what gyms people are going to. Find out what is available to you. Work with some different folks. Take advantage of free memberships. Take advantage of free workouts at different places. Go check things out. I know when I had to change gyms last, it took me 2 months to pick which gym I was going to go to. And I took advantage of a lot of free workouts at a lot of different gyms just to see what I liked and to see what worked with me and what my preferred style was. And even the coaching too. You got to look at what the coach is like. So coming to an end here, we should wrap this up. If anybody has any questions, don't hesitate. Email me. Use the Remind app. Send me a text message. Stop in and see me in campus. Come in before class. Come in after class. I am happy to sit down and talk with y'all. I don't know everything. I know enough. I know where to find resources. And I know how to point you in the right direction. If I can't answer the question, I will help you get that answer. All right. Have a great week, and I will see you on Friday.